Hello and welcome. My name is Lawal, and today we're going to be taking a look at how props and or properties work in Svelte. So I'm going to open my web app right now, and we're going to see that we have this very simple web page with 4 identical components, basically profile cards. And this is a profile card component here, and we render it in this page of Svelte here 4 times in this grid container. But the problem here is that each of them have static data and identical data. So we want to be able to give them dynamic data and pass them through as props. So I'm going to show you guys how Svelte makes this very possible and easy for us. But first of all, I want to give you an heads up. If you've never seen this before, it's going to look very weird because of it's basically not how JavaScript works. But Svelte, again, is a compiler. So it's able to do pretty magical looking things that would not be possible in normal JavaScript. So yeah, let's just give you an heads up right now. So if you want to create pass props in Svelte, how do we do that? We do it by writing this. So I'm going to write this first and then I'm going to explain. Export, let's name empty string. Now I know when you see something, especially when you see something like exports, it's something that's going outside of the component, not coming inside of the component, but in Svelte, when you write something, when you use an export, basically telling Svelte that you want this thing to be received by the component. Again, it looks very alien because of this is not how JavaScript works. But remember, Svelte is not technically JavaScript. Though it is JavaScript, it's not JavaScript because it is a compiler and it can make all this magic happen. And that is one of the beauty of Svelte for me. It's almost like its own language in a way. So we have the export let's name here, and we can usually just render it here. And I can say new. I see the yellow squiggly line goes away. And if I check my browser now, you see that we don't have any name. Yes, we don't have any name because of this name is empty. And if I go back to my component here, I can put name right here, and now I can put any name I want. I can put Lawal Adebola. I would see that the first component gets the name rendered, Lawal Adebola, and the rest don't have anything rendered on them. And that is the basic of how props work in Svelte. Now, if you want like a default value, you can just basically put something here. Right, so I can put default name. Basically just write default name. NAME like that. So it's all right. Now the rest of them that don't actually have a name props set on them is going to default back to the one we set here, the default name. So that's the one that's going to get shown. This one's getting shown if we don't pass the name props to it. So let's check it out. As you can see, the first one is Lawal Adebola, the rest is default name. Basically how we set it up here. Now, if we want to make sure that a name is passed at all times, we can basically just clear this completely. I mean, because writing TypeScript, you have to tell that this is a string explicitly. And now, if a name is not passed, you can see the red squiggly lines because of TypeScript is telling us that we have a props that is required for this component. It's renders undefined because of the process required, and we have the red line telling us that we have to. So when we pop up the name, we just write John. You can see the red line goes away for this component, and the rest to still have that squiggly line on it. So let's kind of pass props completely for each and every value here. So we have the name. We can write export let's email. And we can put the email is a string. You can say export let number, and the number is also going to be a string. And we can do the last one, which is an avatar. Export let's avatar, or let's call it pic, the avatar picture, which is going to be a string as well. Now let's put this, render this in our HTML here. I can replace this with email. I can replace this with phone number. Remember, I have to use curly braces, and then I can render JavaScript in there. So I can say number. And for the last one, which is the SRC, I can say pick, just like that. Now, I can go back to my page.svelte where I have these things being rendered, and I can put all of them there. I can say in the first component. Now, let's work with only one component since they're identical and since they're the same thing. So work with just this one component and we put everything there. Now we can say email and say spade at gmail.com. Number number would be online. I'll just put anything there, and we can put the SRC. SRC would be, no, we didn't put SRC, we put peaks. Now that's the auto completion comes on, and we can say peaks pick1.png, and we can check that out. As you can see, it renders everything we wrote. So let's check it. Save that. So the name is Lawala Table. That's all get rendered. We have the email speed. That's what got rendered. We have the number and the peak, which is also the peak that got rendered as well. Now this just don't end here. Let's say we have the values gotten from somewhere. So let's say we have something like, let's name is equals to Lawal Adi Bola, and I want to put this inside here. So I can just come here and use curly braces, right? I can say name here, simple and easy, yeah. But if this value is the same as this, if they have the same variable name, instead of writing this like this, I can just remove this and put just this curly braces and say name. So it will get this name here, and it will know it's referring to the name that is here. So that's just very a shortcut that you can use. And if I check the browser, it's the same thing that gets returned and rendered. And spreading objects also work as well. So if I have an object, if I say let's profile, and I have an object with name, email, number, and check, just like that. And I take all these values and I put them there. Instead of writing there. So I want to put this profile object here. So I can do that by doing something like this. I can say name is equals to profile the name, right? I can do that, and I can say email is equals to profile dot email, but that's a bit long cut. But we can actually use the spread operator here. We can remove this. We can put our curly braces here, and we can just spread the profile object like that. And since we have these values to be identical as the name of our variables that we set, is going to know and it's going to refer to the correct ones in the right places. So if I check my browser one more time, you see that, oh, it shows a 500 error. Yes, let's refresh it. And now it shows all the values that we want, and it shows them correctly. So thank you guys very much. If you have any question, leave it in the comment section. I will respond to them as soon as I can. See you in the next time. Thank you.